Hey guys, Shine Divine here, and this weekend we're going to talk about using this installment. We're going to talk about using negativity as a tool. So in our first one, we talked about morning practice, the first video. We talked about the power and transformational purposes of morning practices. The second one talked about integrating gratitude and positivity throughout your day. So this third one, I want to look at negativity and how we can actually use negativity as a way of transformation and as a strong tool to actually create lasting and profound change in our lives. So oftentimes when you first get into gratitude and affirmations, anytime you're feeling a thought in your mind that you perceive as negative, I guess I can speak from my own experience. When I got into gratitudes and affirmations, when I would perceive a thought as negative, I actually got very, very good at what I like to call emotionally sweeping that feeling and that emotion under the rug and creating a state change. So the value of this was that I could be in a positive, happy mood whenever I wanted. The detriment of this is you're not actually resolving. You're not actually creating a resolve on why that feeling's coming up. Oftentimes when we experience negativity, and not always, because sometimes it's just purely habitual. Maybe we've been around a lot of negative people for a long time, so we build up the habit of being negative simply for the sake. But it is very important to cultivate the discernment and learn how to know when there's something that actually needs to be resolved that's creating a negative emotion, and when it's something just habitual. And this will come with practice. So for me, when I would experience negativity, I would maybe look at myself in the mirror, pick up my journal, write down affirmations. I am great and I'm the best. And through that, I was able to create a state change that would bring myself into happiness. But it was more of a Band-Aid solution, and even worse than a Band-Aid solution, it was more like inviting a bunch of guests into your house and having them put salmon in your walls. Yeah, the mess might have disappeared for now, but eventually your house is going to smell like fish. And it's not the best thing. Not the best thing to have salmon walls. So, creating a practice of conscious negativity. I've done this, and I'm going to do that this week, and I invite you to join me by taking a week challenge with me. And for this week, we're not going to complain about anything. We're only going to focus on the positive light, and we're going to do this consciously. So anytime you're about to complain about something, anytime you're going to unconsciously bring out something negative about the situation, catch yourself, become aware of it, and focus on the good of the situation. We're going to practice this for one whole week, and we're going to do this by getting just kind of an understanding and a greater depth of how much we unconsciously complain. Because we really live in a complainer society where we're constantly complaining about everything. We're doing that to get empathy. We're doing that as a result of the people around us. We're doing it largely on an unconscious scale. And by taking this week-long challenge, you'll really realize to yourself, really realize to yourself of how much you might complain about things. Or how much you don't. Maybe you're a completely positive person. You don't need to watch this. Turn off, go away. We're not talking to you. Now you can stay. By doing this, you're really going to realize, and that doesn't mean you don't have a negative thought at all. You're going to have tons. You're going to have lots of negative thoughts. You're going to bring up a lot of negative things, but it simply means you become conscious and aware of those thoughts as they come up, and then you make an effort to focus on the brighter side of this. We're going to do that for a whole week. I'm starting today. I invite you to start with me. So once we've cultivated this greater awareness, I always say my 3-step process, and I'll go into this later. Awareness, strategy, massive action. 3 steps towards change. Write that down. So by cultivating this whole week, we're going to create awareness. From this awareness, we're going to learn how to make our negativity work for us. And we're going to do this by, for me, I stay positive 95+% of the time, and then 5% of the time, give or take, 5% of the time when I'm feeling a strong negative emotion, I use that pain, I use that suffering, I use that negative emotion, I use that negative emotion as a tool for transformation, because that feeling, I find, can create profound leverage to actually change your life for the better. So if you're feeling like shit, maybe there's a reason. maybe you look into that emotion, maybe you ask that emotion why it's there. And by asking that emotion why it's there, you can go, well, I feel this way. I never feel this way because of that, but I feel this way because something's out of balance in my life. And now that I know that, the emotions bringing up that state of awareness, I can consciously step into a plan of action, create a change, and live a healthier and more balanced life. So, to recap, 1 week challenge, you're taking it with me, now's the time. And then we're going to learn that when we're negative, we're going to consciously use that to create change in our lives. I think that's the end of our video. Thank you, and have a divine day.